All right, welcome everybody to another week of Real Estate IQ event. Today we're gonna talk about a really sought after class, and we're so excited to bring this class to you. And this is about door knocking, and it's brought to you by Real Estate IQ and Candid REI. Okay, so really quick, let's get through some intro slides. Quick words about Real Estate IQ, the host. We offer a suite of tools and services that help you in your real estate investment journey. One of our core products is called Off-Market Leads, and we basically find motivate sellers who have a very strong reason that they need to sell their house. And I would say probably one prime example would be the pre-foreclosure properties where the owner needs to either sell their house or risk losing their house in next month's auction. In addition to that, we offer education and services that really help you in your journey. And so if you're interested in learning more about Real Estate IQ, just stay tuned, and you can request a one-on-one consultation with one of our experts. And we have also added deals in our offering. What we want to do is to connect you with deals, basically. As investors, we either want motivate sellers, or we want, at the end of the day, deals and funding. So we're kind of working on adding these offerings to really help you facilitate your transactions. These are a couple of examples of the deals we have sold through our network and our platform. And we actually have a private lending opportunity available now. And so if you're interested, this is in Thornton in Texas. So that's Central Texas. Some of you may already be aware that about the growth of Texas in general. And the cool thing about, I think, Central Texas is that the price of the property are still, in a really good kind of affordable range. And so if you want to learn more, just text the phone number here on the screen and, get some information about it. This is a 2.5 acre property. All right. So without further ado, I want to introduce Rachel and Chris on our platform. Just welcome you guys back. Chris and Rachel are experienced investors and coaches, and they have years of hands-on experience, and they specialize in guiding first-time investors towards their first deals. And we always know that the first deal is so critical. It's kind of the hardest, right? Because the first time when you're doing something, everything is new. And so every single step you may get stuck. And I have personally felt that in my first deal. I just have tons of questions, and every single step, and there's like hundreds of steps, I would say, because it's the first time. And I just had so many questions. So it's just so valuable to have folks that are doing this for a living and doing this on a day-to-day basis. And having that guidance is just invaluable. Like the first couple of deals, it's worth millions of dollars, to be honest. So Rachel and Chris, they're also known for their boots on the ground approach and practical results, right? It's about turning vision into action and result. There's a gap there, and just really happy to have them in our network and kind of bring this to you guys. So proven strategies like door knocking. I would say door knocking is one of the most effective ways of reaching motivated sellers. You either hear a no or you kind of get a yes, and you can really quickly build trust and hopefully close the deal there. We have had a lot of clients that found a lot of success in the door knocking. So really want to kind of bring this. I'm excited to learning from you guys too, Rachel and Chris. So without further ado, just want to hand over the stage over to you.
Awesome. Thank you for the introduction.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. All right. So what we'll do here is just come back here. All right. Can you see? Is it fully blown up now? Okay. So what we wanted to do is just speak to you guys about door knocking. I know it's very scary, if you will, for some people, especially those who aren't comfortable speaking to other strangers, complete strangers, and maybe just have never door knocked, period, for work or for fun or for selling, whether it's candy or something.
I know I was super scared the first time we went out there. And I mean, Chris literally just told me, we just got to do it. I mean, we are doing this. We want flexibility in our life. We want to spend time with our children. So this is the first thing we need to do. So, I mean, sometimes you just have to have somebody tell you, you just got to do it. And that's how you do it. I think most real estate investors fail at door knocking because of those things. Like Chris said, either they're scared, they don't know what to say. And I think they don't like hearing no, which makes complete sense. So we're going to go through steps that we do in order to be successful with door knocking and get those yeses.
Yes. And so on the bottom right, you'll see the QR code for our information in case you don't already have it. So I'll just spend a few seconds there so that way you can scan that before we get started. So hopefully everyone's ready to go. Again, no one should be afraid of this, even though sometimes it can be intimidating. So let's get started here. So the problem with traditional door knocking, right? Let's talk about even just approaching the house or property or whatever it is. You understand, especially in foreclosures, that once you walk up to that door, people are, especially now, right, with the ring and everything else, or who is it? Who's out there? And that's what we need to be careful of, right? As soon as they start hearing the doorbell or you knocking on the door, then their guard goes up automatically. And that's for everybody, right? For their safety, and especially for those in foreclosure. I'm sure you're probably the millionth person to come down and knock on their door. So that's what you have to do. The second one is, I think we, especially newbies coming in, we tend to want to sell, whether that's ourselves or our product, because that's kind of what we're taught, right? We're taught, hey, go up there and sell. And for those who have sold chocolates or candies or, you know, popcorn, whatever, for schools or whatnot, that's what you're doing automatically. You're selling. But that's not what people want. And you have to really, really, really understand that they don't want that. They need help. They don't want to be sold to, right? So most of the people that are going to answer, you know, depending on how you react to them, how you look, and how you speak to them, they're probably going to shut the door on you, or, you know, some will open up for you and really listen to what you have. For most people, a simple no shuts them down 100%, right? It's like asking someone out on a date. No, oh man, I stink, right? Oh, my life stinks, and now, right, or anything, right? Anything for that matter.
Right. So I would say get used to hearing no. Chris always tells our boys, it's funny. He's like, do you know how many no's I heard? Do you think it stopped me? He's like, no, I just kept trying, or else I wouldn't be here. So just, it's okay if they say no. That's like the worst thing that could possibly happen. And you just move on to the next person. And when it comes to your approach, remember that sometimes people just need to be heard. We don't need to fix everything from the get-go. Sometimes they just need to vent and let it out. I mean, they're under a lot of pressure. They don't know what they're going to do. It depends on, well, actually in any situation. So if you're door knocking just on distressed homes, then they obviously don't know how to fix the problem. They don't know who to call, let's say, to mow their lawn. Maybe they're older and can't mow their own lawn. Things of that nature. So even in a situation like that, there's a need for your help. So just keep that in mind. Be very aware of that situation. If you're door knocking foreclosures, they're in a whole ton of stress and they don't know what to do. They've probably never been through this situation, and there was obviously something that caused the situation. So maybe they haven't been able to resolve that initial problem. So just be very aware of things like that and just be patient.
Yeah, very patient. All right. So whenever we go to houses, especially if I don't know the person, right? Most of the time we don't know them unless they're repeat offenders. And yes, you have those who are consistently on the foreclosure list and they stop it. They know exactly how to avoid foreclosure. These guys are experts at what they do. And the more you do this, you'll certainly see that. And we smile and laugh now, right? But these guys know the ins and outs better than we do, right? These guys go, well, I filled this out and I went here. I talked to who? I'm like, who are these? All these people that you're talking to? But it's true. So, but if you are really, really nervous, right? What we tend to do is whenever we walk up to a property, we notice something in the area. Maybe it could be as simple as Walmart. Hey, you have a Walmart right down the street from you. That's awesome, right? Or hey, you have something, a nice car outside, right? Or anything. You want to be able to observe what they have in the area or at the property to open up the conversation. For some people, and I think everyone here can agree to this, whenever we go to a new place, something you always want to have something in common, right? So that way it'll open up a conversation. And it doesn't have to be anything large, right? Like, oh, I have that card too. It's just so that way you can relate somehow. Yeah.
So I think what helps us a lot, and when we show up at houses, if we see like a tricycle, then it's kind of like a reminiscing part, right? Oh, my kids used to have that bicycle or something like that. And it just makes you sound more human. And they might possibly tend to be less mean to you. So you're a dad, you're a mom, and they have children, right? And who knows, we may have gone through the same situation. So they might not be as mean to you. They might be like, okay, well, let me give them a chance because they have children too. They might place themselves in our situation. We don't know what's really going through their mind. So you definitely want to go ahead and do as much relating to them as possible. And then offer clarity, right? So let them know who you are. You work with homeowners that deal with tough situations. So whatever that is, right? Like I mentioned before, whether it's code violations that Real Estate IQ offers on their lists, whether it's foreclosures, whether somebody passed. I mean, that's a really hard one to door knock, but it is possible. You just have to show up and do the same thing. Just to be very courteous, relate to the people, offer them some type of clarity of why you're there and what you're trying to do. So.
All right, give me just a sec, guys. Let me do something. Steve, I'm just gonna see if we can get you guys back on here. I think we're having issues with. Let's see if this works, guys. I apologize. We're checking to see if I think we received notice that you can't see the slides. So, hey, Steve, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Are you?
What we're seeing is the PowerPoint, not the full screen, just the PowerPoint, and we're on the first slide.
Okay, that's odd. Are you able to see me switch now or not?
Same.
Same?
Yeah. First slide.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I don't know why it's not flipping. I'll try this one more time. So. Can you see the sidebar to the left?
Yes.
Yeah, but once I switch here, you can't see me flip.
No. Yeah. We're still seeing kind of the sidebar.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay. All right. What's about the sidebar? Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. So this is what we're talking about here, guys. So the problem with door knocking. I know. Sorry. I apologize for that. Not sure what's going on. So we left off here. Okay. So let's continue. So we always talk about approaching the door, what we should look like, how we should behave. And I will tell you, there is such thing as being overdressed or being underdressed, right? Overdressed, you don't want to look like the bank. First of all, you definitely don't want to look like a banker. I know, whenever we all start door knocking, you want to dress nice. And especially in Houston in the heat and the humidity, you definitely don't want to wear long sleeve unless it's a nice cool day, which are very rare. But yes, you definitely want to look the part, right? Look like you're not, don't look intimidating. Don't look, and for some of us, Rachel says, smile, right? You look mean. Okay, well, so that way, whenever someone opens the door, they see, hey, a friendly smile. So at the minimum, just minimum, just smile at least, right?
I would say one of the big things is to, even though it's hot, and I know we're tempted to wear a cap, sometimes try to avoid the cap. But if you are going to wear a cap, at least wear it like the right way. Don't wear it backwards, right? Because I know when it comes to like my grandma and my mom and just the older generation, they're like, oh my God, turn that around or take that off. That's so rude of you. So always try and be aware of that. And then just don't wear a t-shirt either. So whatever your t-shirt might have might be offensive to the person you're visiting. Maybe it reminds them of something or just a bad situation. So I would say avoid graphic tees. Don't wear too much jewelry because it may be distracting, right? I mean, even when it comes to like job interviews, that's one of the first things they tell you, just dress appropriately.
Oops.
You're basically interviewing with these people. You're making a first impression. Don't wear a super strong perfume because that can linger. And then always be safe when you're out. So we always try to go together. If we're not together, I definitely won't go by myself. I'll have somebody with me, whether that be another girl and maybe like he's in the car, or if we just let him know, hey, we're going to these houses, this is our route and so forth, then that's okay, because at least somebody always knows where you're at. But I would say always try and make it like a boy and a girl. And the reason for that is you seem a little bit less intimidating. If two guys show up and let's say it's just a female at home, they might not want to open the door for you, right? Because it's just like, oh my gosh, like who is it?
Yeah. And so what people tend to do is go with others, a group, maybe 2 or 3, but no more than 2 or 3, right? Because then if I see a group of people outside, then I get scared, right? And a lot of these people, you have to understand, they're already panicking, right? They're going through foreclosure, and they don't want, and a lot of people have come to their door already, right? Another thing that we've seen is people show up in maybe sandals, or they show up in those vests, for construction to try to fool people and use different, uniforms, if you will. Don't do that, guys. We're real human beings. We're speaking of human beings. They want to be treated as such, right? So do that. Whenever you are at the door, don't lean up against the side or be like this, or hold your clipboard up in front of your face. Don't try to hide or anything like that. Just be normal, right? Whatever normal is, I guess, right? Just be your normal self. And then give them space. Really, don't literally just stand in front of them as they open the door, right? Back up a bit, right? Let them know that you don't have anything in your hands unless you're holding a clipboard or something. And these are just basic things. I know it sounds, like, well, why are you talking to us about these basic things? Well, sometimes
we forget.
We forget. And in the moment, we're nervous, we're scared. And especially door knocking, right? For strangers' doors, we get scared too. We get nervous as well. So if they get scared or nervous, we do the same thing. So just keep that in mind, okay? So,
but keep in mind that if you're still nervous, it's a good thing, right? You should never be too comfortable with the situation and forget to listen to like that little voice in your head that tells you, no, don't do this, or yes, do this. So always listen to yourself. If something doesn't feel right, just always listen to that little voice. That's funny because just not too long ago, Chris went door knocking with one of our partners, and he came home and he's like, oh my gosh, it was crazy because they had an appointment set and everything. So they were expecting him. It wasn't even normal like this door knocking. It was door knocking nonetheless because they had never been there, but they already had an appointment. And then when they got there, it was funny because he got home and he's like, oh my gosh, there was yelling like crazy. And so he stepped away, kind of gave them a minute, tried calling them, and then they wouldn't answer, maybe knocked one more time and they were yelling. And then he's like, we're out, we're leaving. And I'm so grateful for that, because no house, no situation is more important than your guys' life. So if it's a very hostile situation, just leave. We belong to a lot of groups and so forth, and it's unfortunate. We've been hearing some horror stories recently where people kind of warn each other, hey, don't go to this property because they just pulled out a gun, things like that. So always be safe.
And for
can't
those,
emphasize that
yeah, for those who look, I always tell people everyone has different backgrounds, you know, from whether it's law enforcement, martial law, or something like that. You can handle yourself, yeah, great, but no contract is worth, you know, dying over, getting killed, stabbed, you know, shot. So this one was pretty hectic. I mean, as she tells a story, you know, it sounds like, oh, well, somebody yelled. No, this was, you could literally hear these people yelling from inside the house. So we went and other people showed up as well. And those people just thought it'd be good to start knocking and like as if there were cops trying to knock their door down. And it just flipped a switch in the homeowner. And it was, when I say you can hear them yell, we were probably, I don't know, 30 feet from the door or something, 40. And as we backed up, you could literally hear the gentleman yelling. You could hear him stomping all the way from the room or wherever he was at to the front door. He opened that front door. And if you've never heard anyone yell really, really loud, it'll take you back. It was really, really, really that loud. It was so loud that the neighbors came out to see what was going on. And that's when we knew, well, before that, we already knew, hey, we should leave already. So we just backed up and ended up leaving because it's not worth it, guys. It really isn't. It for that contract, for that money that you're going to make on that deal, if it becomes a deal, it's really not worth it. So don't try to, you know, be Mr. Tough Guy or girl and say, hey, well, I can handle it, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys can handle it emotionally, physically, but it's really not worth it.
So just be careful.
Yeah, just be careful. All right. So which leads us to the situation, right? So what we want to do here is talk a little bit about how we initiate the first contact, right? These are just little scripts that we use. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. I know sometimes we sit there and we write out all our ideas and all these long book of how we're going to interact with the people. Just be normal, guys. Okay. So it could be something as simple as this first point.
So you could just say, hi, my name is Rachel. Are you aware that the house is under foreclosure? And sometimes you don't even need to do all that. You just introduce yourself. So we wrote these as an example. But another thing that we say is, hi, my name is Rachel. I'm Rachel. This is my husband, Chris. We're investors in the area. We just came to visit you about your property. Something as simple as that.
And I will say, this one is really important because some people don't know that they're in foreclosure and really legitimately don't know that they're in foreclosure. What I mean by that is you have a lot of your Spanish speakers that we help out a lot because we obviously speak Spanish that receive all their mail in English, right? You also have people that are in there that are tenants. We just saw one probably 2 weeks ago, right? 2.5 weeks ago. The lady had no idea the house was going into foreclosure. She said, what do you mean? I've been living here for, I think it was like almost 3 years. She said, I pay my rent on time and everything else, except the owner didn't pay the bills, pay the mortgage. So some people, as dumb as, you know, people say this might sound, it's really the truth. Some people don't know that they're in foreclosure, especially tenants, right? I think the worst one was the guy's cousin was living there. He's like, what do you mean? That's my cousin. We hang out all the time. And, you know, almost every weekend and he didn't know that they were losing the house. So yeah, you definitely want to watch out for that.
And one of the things that kind of lets them know you're there to help, because right, you're not there just to buy their house. Maybe you're not, but our approach is that we're not there to buy the house because that's the last resort. But in any case, we mentioned the bank. Hey, have you been able to get a hold of the bank? We know it's really hard to get a hold of the bank during these times. Have you been able to? If not, let's try it. Let's try to help you. Can we get on the phone right now? Let's call them. So again, all these things seem like, well, duh. I'm sure they thought about calling the bank, but no, sometimes they're just so stressed out, don't know what to do. Sometimes they don't know, like, I can call the bank and try and talk to somebody. I can try and find a solution for this. I can try and make payment arrangements. I can try and make loan modifications. Sometimes they're not aware of those things. Sometimes they're just like, oh, I messed up, and that's it. There's no solution to it. There's nobody can fix this. Nobody can help me out of this. So they just kind of give up and just wait for the day to happen and wait for the constable to come and kick them out.
Yeah, and we say that because some of them, because the bank is the enemy, right? They don't realize that they can actually speak to someone. And then it just all depends on the day that someone's having on the other side of the phone, right? You call somebody, ask for help. Nope, there's nothing we can do. Yep, no, you just got to pay. And then that's what discourages people as well. A lot of them saying yes. So for those who are in communication with the bank, it's the loan modification, right? You guys are going to get, it's a loan modification. We're waiting for approval. Well, how long have you been waiting, right? What's the status of it? Have you spoken to somebody already? Well, no, I haven't yet, but they're going to approve it. Well, how do you know they're going to approve it? We don't know, right? And we'll talk more about this in a bit. But the timeline, you guys know, if it's foreclosure for next month, May, or even June, you have to give the bank minimum 30 days, right, to be able to receive the paperwork, go through it, and make sure you filled it out correctly. If you didn't, or they didn't fill it out correctly, clock starts again. All right. So just a few basic scripts that we use here.
So again, hi, my name is Rachel. Are you aware that the house is under foreclosure? So also try and avoid home, right? Home hits too close to home. So don't use home. So just use either house or the property, or I mean the structure, things like that. Just kind of disconnect them from the actual home, because home is where the heart is. So you want to take that feeling away from it. You're there, it's a transaction. You don't want to make them feel worse about the situation.
Yeah, and I think once when in up front we've made that mistake. Hey, you have a beautiful house, your home, this is so beautiful, and then it starts getting them thinking like, holy crap, I'm gonna lose it, right? Oh, now you're here
trying to take it
away from me, right? And that's something that you have to get over. Once you start getting them emotional about their situation in the house, and I don't mean emotional by being stressed out, by getting them to reattach themselves to the house, right? It really makes a difference, and that could be a contract that you lose, right? I'm not selling. I don't care what you have to say or do. We're out of here, right? Again, we bring up the loan modification here again because it's really important that people understand the loan modification process, and it could be great for some people, and they may not be so great for people.
Right. So if they say, yes, I know I'm in foreclosure. Okay. Have you been able to get a hold of your bank to review your options if you have any? And let's just say they say, yes, I'm going to get a loan modification. Great. They already tell you we're approved. Well, no, I'm still waiting. Okay. How long ago did you send in your paperwork? It was 3 weeks ago. Wow. 3 weeks. You still haven't heard anything. All right. So let's try and get a hold of them right now. And just always let them know that there's a sense of urgency, right? Because there is a sense of urgency. There's a sense of urgency because it's already going to happen. Let's just say this conversation happens this Saturday, right? You decide to go door knocking this Saturday because we're going to teach you all the tricks. So let's say this Saturday you go out and they're like, oh, I'm getting a loan modification. And you're like, okay, well, this Saturday is already what, the 20th? And foreclosure's already what, in 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah.
So you're gonna ask them, okay, so where are you in the process? What have they approved? Have they already told you what your payments are going to be? Have they already told you the dates that you need to send in these payments? And kind of go from there. And then they're going to be like, oh man, no, the bank hasn't told me anything. I don't even know if they're going to approve me. Well, exactly. Chances are this part of the bank is not talking to this part of the bank, and this part of the bank needs to talk to this part of the bank, or else nothing is actually going to happen. And that's kind of like that's when Chris says the bank is the enemy, right? So you're going to say this part of the bank doesn't usually talk to this part of the bank. Do you think they're going to make this exception just for you? I mean, in reality, it's probably not going to happen. They want their property back. You haven't been paying. So, I mean, whatever the situation is, the payments haven't been made. So let's look at our next resort. What else can we do?
Yeah, and it's okay to ask those questions, guys. I know sometimes some of you approach these houses and are tiptoeing around. Some of these people really appreciate you just being honest and upfront with them. Hey, have you done this, and this, right? It's better than someone just, hey, I want to buy your house, coming up to your house and say, hey, I want to buy your house. Okay, well, I don't want to sell. It doesn't matter. Look, these are my numbers. You're going to get kicked out. Believe me, some people don't have personality, if you will, and don't have no empathy or whatnot. And we'll talk about that here in a bit. But you really have to understand that these people are going into foreclosure and they need help, right? So this is a few of for the loan modifications. Typically, whenever you modify a loan, they are looking for some kind of, well, they're not looking for some kind, they're looking to see what has changed, meaning the bank. They want to make sure that, well, if you want the loan modification, what has changed in your life that you went from not having, you know, income or not being able to pay to now being able to pay. You definitely have to show some kind of work or some kind of employment change or something saying that you are working and receiving monies. And that's really what it is, right? If the homeowner has not acquired maybe new work or maybe a higher paying job, the likelihood of it getting approved is highly unlikely. So that could kind of be your in and say, hey, well, has anything changed financially? Because that's what the banks are looking for. No, well, I'm still out of work. You already know more than likely it's going to get denied. So this is where you have to push a little. Hey, well, you know, you may not get approved, but you have me here. If you don't get approved by the 15th, right? Why don't we start the process in us trying to be able to help you out, right? We call it the plan B. We always want to make sure there's a backup, or plan C or D, right? Some people might be able to reinstate the loan. They just choose not to at the moment, right? And the big question that we always ask people is, did they fill out the information themselves, the paperwork themselves? More than likely, they're going to make mistakes. I have yet to see a financial institution stay on the phone with you for hours, line by line, having you fill it out. So and then some people help hire other people to help them out. But if you filled it out yourself, I can assure you there's mistakes, right? And you want to try to avoid that. It's disheartening, guys. Once you really start doing it, I think this was probably a couple of months ago. The lady showed us the stack of paperwork, and she made just a few errors, right? And one of them, they literally couldn't read what she wrote, and they denied it. So they sent her another pack, you know, and it's just a lot of paperwork for these people. So keep that in mind. Alternative scripts that we use, we tend to, whenever we come to a house, we always assume we're going to speak to the owner. So whoever opens up the house, we're assuming it's the homeowner. And we just use John as an example, right? So, hey, John, my name is Chris. I saw the property on the foreclosure list. Did you know about that? Well, yeah, you think I'm an idiot? You don't think I know? Or, hey, what are you talking about? I'm paying my rent, right? I rent here. What are you talking about? Or, hey, no, I didn't know. And I didn't know because, unfortunately, just like banks don't speak to one another, the bank departments, spouses don't speak to one another. Believe it or not, guys. I don't know if you're married or what, but but yes, can you believe coming home, you know, after work, getting somebody at your door knocking, and then, what do you mean I'm losing my house?
Yeah, and we've run into it. Or a lot of people say, oh no, my wife's taking care of it. She already hired an attorney. And we've had situations where we ran into people. It's funny because they actually remembered us, and they've told us, yeah, my wife did hire an attorney, but nothing happened. Nothing happened. I mean, they took our initial money, but we still lost the house. So these are real life scenarios that, I mean, it happens, right? You don't have to say it happened to me personally or anything like that, but now you know someone who it has happened. We heard it first person. You're hearing it from the horse. They lost their home because they took it to an attorney. They've paid the attorney, and I don't know, it just got lost in the shuffle or something, and it didn't get paid. So even when it seems that official, right, it's going to get taken care of, and it didn't. And
yeah, it's pretty disheartening, especially when you hire somebody to help you out. And some of these people will just take money, right? They know it's stressful time, very emotional time. Hey, pay me $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, we'll stop it. Okay, well, then what happens next if it is stopped? But we have heard that a lot of the things you'll hear is, well, maybe I had my son or my daughter or, you know, spouse, they paid it. They said they paid it. I literally gave them the money. It's just every family, every person is different. So
And then differentiating yourself. So part of our coaching, and not everybody's like this. So if you choose not to help people and you're really there just to buy the house, then don't say you're not there to buy the house, right? Because then in essence you're lying, and then it gives other investors a bad name. But let's say you really are trying to help them, then really do your best to try and help them. Really call those banks, with the people if they want to be there, or without the people if they don't want to be there. But we like to do our best to try and help them. And then if we can't help them, then we'll look at the numbers and see if we could buy the house. But even with our students, we really do tell them, hey, let's look for a solution for them first.
Right.
If and when you can't find a solution, then yes, of course, we're investors. That's what we're there for. But that is kind of how you stand out and mean it. Mean it when you're there and say you're there to actually help, and they'll feel how genuine you're being. So
yeah, and I think, well, I know that sometimes these basic, right, scripts, you might think, oh, well, that's just basic. Yeah, but a lot of these other investors and other people that are door knocking, or, hey, my name is so-and-so, I'm with so-and-so company and the attorneys and blah, blah, blah. Once you start telling them I'm with the company, they shut down, right? So just be a normal person. Say, hey, you know, we're family-owned business, and me and my wife, or me and my partners, you know, we do this. And so another way we have found that actually help is approaching the house. Hey, John, you know, I know a lot of people are coming. You know, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Here's my card. It's in your house. The house is in foreclosure. Here's my card. Let's set up a time to talk, and just walk away. Right? Say, hey, wait. You just gave me your card. Aren't you gonna sell me or tell me? Or yeah. I mean, if you have time now, we can talk, or just let me know when a good time is. And I know every sales job that they tell you got to capture the lead right now. You got to sell right now. The truth is, it may not be right now that you're going to sell to them, right? And we'll talk about that here in a bit. But we've seen, and we've just put it to action. Hey, let me just give them my information. Hey, you let me know when you're ready to talk, and you walk away. And they're like, what the heck? What's going on here, right? So that could be something else that you guys can try. We've talked about being empathetic, right?
So, John, I apologize in advance. Yes, I am an investor. I am coming to your house. I'm here in front of you. But let's not talk about buying the house right now, because let's find a solution if there is one.
Yeah, that's really powerful, more powerful than you guys think. Again, what you're doing is you're saying, John, I'm another investor, right? I'm another person here knocking at your door. Yes, you know, we buy houses as well. There's a ton of people. But look, I'm not here to buy the house. Why don't we explore different options? Why don't we talk about the different options that we can help you with, right? And believe me, they know if you're genuine or not. These people have been approached by investors, by other attorneys, right? I mean, if you've never seen a mailbox full of marketing material from investors and attorneys and everything, it's thick. I mean, these guys get a ton of stuff from months in advance. Excuse me. So, so when we offer help, we're definitely there to show them that we are going to help, but time is of the essence.
Right. So I think we've tried very hard to give you guys scenarios of scripts that you can use, because we definitely want to provide you scripts. A lot of it is tailored to you as a person, right? What you're going to say. And that's things that we help our students with, is that we tailor it to who they are. Because we all speak differently. We'd love to have, like, this is a script, go use it. You're going to get all the contracts in the world. But in all honesty, it doesn't always work like that. The people respond different. They say yes, they say no. Some people don't want to talk to you. So it's more about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? Being uncomfortable and knowing how to rebuttal. Oh, well, this is what I'm going to say. Well, if this comes up, we always tell our boys, make it like when they're playing hockey and so forth, we always tell them, if you get used to doing something, your body is going to automatically do it, right? So it's the same thing. Like if you practice it, if you go out there, if you door knock, you get all these different scenarios, you get all these different situations, and your mind, your mouth is just going to react, and it's going to do it in the most positive way. The more experience you have with it, the easier it's going to get. So
yeah, for those that we help and that we coach, door knocking in the foreclosure list is the most, we always say, forgiving lists, right? Door knocking, you're new, you're gonna butcher the first 5, 10, but these are things that you have to do in order to get good at, right? I always say, hey, whatever your profession you're in now, did you just wake up one day and say, I'm gonna go, I don't know, be an engineer, be a doctor, and you're great at it? No, you study, right? And then you practice. And that's how you get good at it, period, at anything.
Every time Chris says that, it reminds me of one of his favorite movies. It's Step Brothers. And it's funny because one of the brothers is like, well, I wanted to be in the family business.
Yeah.
And he's a doctor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
just thought I'd share that.
But it's really true, right? It is true. But yes, but yet you have to do it just like code calling, right? You guys code call, hey, it's okay. Mess it up, butcher it first 5, 10 times. So by the 11th time, you're good to go. By the 15th, 20th time, before you know it, we talked about muscle memory. It'll be easier for you guys, okay? So the psychology of objections. The truth is, guys, you just have to go do it. There's no secret. And like Rachel said, everyone is different. We are different people. The homeowners are different people. One script might work for somebody else, for 1 or 2 people, but it may not work for everybody. So there's really no secret to being successful in this. It's just you having to go out there, feeling out who they are and what they say, and then go from there. This is why we say basic stuff. Hey, you have a bicycle just like my kid, or a motorcycle or a car or something, you know. The sellers will know if you are memorizing scripts or if you're like a robot. Right? To say, hi, John, my name is Chris. Do you want to sell your house? Heck no, I don't want to sell it. What do you think? Get out of here, right? And then you get the door slammed on you. So,
and then, well, I guess most importantly, don't get offended, right?
I think that's the biggest thing about people right now is they get emotional, like, I hate this, it doesn't work. Right?
Yeah, don't. I mean, you have to understand they're losing their house. Whatever the situation is, sometimes they weren't responsible. Sometimes they were responsible. Sometimes bad situations happen to them. Just understand they're going through a lot of things. And first thing that they're probably going to do is not want to deal with you. You're just another thing that they need to deal with. So if they're angry or upset, it's okay.
Let it out. Let them speak. We don't allow homeowners to speak because we always want to go first, especially if you have a sales background, right? We're there to sell. We're there to hit the bullet points of what we're going to do and the details. But sometimes you just have to shut up and listen, right? Believe me when we tell you, we have been at houses for an easy hour and people are just crying. They're talking about other issues. Hey, well, you know, I understand. And you just sit there, right? And you're thinking, man, what the heck? You know, it's like a novella. Yeah, like a novella, right? A soap opera. And some of these people, believe me, it does seem like it. But I will tell you that makes all the difference in the world.
And that's how you build their trust. Because you at least let them vent. So, yeah.
Yeah, so allow them to speak and you just sit back and just listen. And then while you're listening, oh, really? That happened?
And be thinking of a solution.
Yeah, and that's what they want, right? They really do want help. So, all right, real world scripts for top objections. Everyone is going to say they're not interested, right? So we'll start here. So if you're not interested,
I understand, right? I understand most sellers are here to just buy your house, but
most buyers.
Did I say it wrong? Sorry. So, but I'm here. I'm going to be different. I'm going to try and give you a few options that'll hopefully benefit you. And that's
Yeah, so a lot of it's just, hey, I'm here to help you out. Let's move forward. Let's talk about the different options. And then when you do give, when some people say, hey, well, just give me an offer, just give me a number and I see if I can move out and go buy another house. And, we tell them, our number. Say, what the heck? Why is it so darn low? Well, this is why it's low, right? We call it right brainer, left brainer. Some of them need to see real numbers. So what we do is we say, hey, I know you wanted 100,000, but I can only offer you 75,000. And this is why, you have realtor fees, costs, we have holding costs, we have closing costs, we have all kinds of different costs that go into our number. And once they really start seeing that and other investors start giving them, their offers, once they're all aligned, if you build that relationship up front, they're going to say, hey, I remember Chris and Rachel, they weren't trying to BS me around. Let me call them, right? Even though their offer might be a few $1,000s lower, I know that they're good people, right? So just keep that in mind.
And if they say, I'm working with an agent, great. A lot of the times you'll find that they're their family members, they're their good friends that told them, hey, well, let's try and sell the house, right? But in all actuality, they probably, especially if you're door knocking the foreclosure list, they probably don't have enough time. And that's what you want to emphasize. Tell them why they don't have enough time, but explain these things, right? Because they don't know what they don't know. So you want to explain to them, you probably don't have enough time. This is what we could do. This is what we can offer you. Sometimes when you're selling on the market, you need to fix things. People don't want to come in and see a house that's half painted and things like that. So you want to tell them every reason why they want to go with you.
Yep, exactly, Mike. That's a great point. Consistent follow-up. How many of you guys really follow up? Right? I can assure you most aren't following up. They go one time, they don't hear anything, or hey, cool, we met Mr. John. Okay, I'll wait for you to call me, or I'll call you and you don't answer. Okay, and then that's it. Then they forget. But we're telling you from experience that most people don't follow up. 80% of these deals are being done because of follow-up, right? People say, oh no, I reached out to them 2 weeks ago. Well, did you try again? Did you try every other day? Right? You exchange numbers and information for a reason. You have to follow up on these guys. Okay. So body language, again, once you're walking up to somebody, walk up slowly, smile. We talked about this, hands visible, step back after knocking them. Yeah, right. Don't be a jerk and, try to.
And be comfortable with silence.
Yes.
It's okay. That's probably when they're going to talk or tell you the real story or what's really going on. So just say what you're going to say and then listen.
Yeah, just step back and listen.
Don't rush them. Don't rush them. You don't like people standing over you at a store. It's the same thing, but even more personal because it's at their house. Don't put your hands inside your pocket because they won't know what are your true intentions. Don't pitch them. You want to get the contract. Obviously, we know you do, but it'll come. And yeah, just don't be too persistent.
All right, so these are just a few faces that you're going to see when you come up to a house. Some are going to be angry, disgusted by you. They're going to be afraid. Some will be happy, say, hey, I just have someone else to talk to. Come on in. Sad and surprised, right? Surprised, hey, I didn't know about any of this, right? So these are real emotions that you're going to see here. 3-part door knocking process. If you guys just take 30 seconds to scan this, it's a way for you to prep for your door knocking experience, right? We're going to prep and pull the list. We're going to go to the actual houses, and then we're going to follow up. Okay, so we'll give you a few more seconds. All right, and then we can share this again afterwards. Really quick, guys, how many of you here drive for a living, right? From work to school to home to everyone drives, right? So just keep in mind, if you look at this sticker here, some of these stickers you will see on houses, those are obviously distressed houses, right? So these are things that maybe you're not thinking about, maybe people don't know about. So these are just some houses that you may not even know about, period. And again, some are not obvious at all. Maybe they are maintained, as far as the exterior, the yard. But once you see the Supra, right? Once you see one of those for realtors that use that, or any kind of, it could be I don't know. I mean, what we've seen all kinds of stuff out front,
See
right?
lock
Just
boxes,
log boxes and
yards.
yeah, it's just different things. So landlord fatigues, right? Those who don't want the houses anymore, right? These are all lists that you can pull. Your probate, your inherited properties, those who didn't do anything for the property, they received the property and now they just want to sell. They just want some money.
All these lists. Real estate IQ.
Yes, exactly. Code violations we're
So
talking about.
unoccupied properties, probate properties, code violations. So get your list.
Awesome. So how do we use Real Estate IQ? We search for leads here from foreclosures, probates, loan modifications. They have all the details that you need, from name, addresses, how much equity they have, phone numbers, everything. Skip tracing. Sometimes it's hard for us to find the sellers, right? And this has everything. You can pull CMAs. At the end of the day, who wins? We all win.
Yeah. So this is the code for if you don't have Real Estate IQ yet, which you probably do because you're listening here. But if you don't, make sure to scan the code and get it, because you're going to get wonderful lists.
Yeah. All right. Give you just a few more seconds. All right. We're at the last slide. So if you want to learn more about what we do, how we can work together, partner up, then scan the QR code to schedule a discovery call. What we'll do is we'll see if we can work together, see if we are a good team or if we're a good fit for each other. And if you want to learn more about door knocking, we're actually going to go into more detail. We typically try to do it every second Thursday of the month. We have our meetups at Rudy's Barbecue.
But today we're having it. Somebody took our date. So we're going to take advantage of Rudy's Barbecue tonight and have some delicious barbecue there and be presenting. We'll start at 6. We actually start at around 7, but you're welcome to be there as of 6:30 and network a little bit with like-minded people. It's a great meetup. A lot of nice people will be there, so we're pretty nice. Yeah. And so our last thing is start door knocking.
So this is a picture of a couple of our students, Marina and Maria. They're consistent. They're out there. And this was one of the first times we took them out, and they were walking like lovebirds, right? They're very happy. It's like, and so we took a picture of them. But yeah, start it. You need help? Let's book a call. Let's talk, and we'll go from there.
All right. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate your class. I took so much notes.
Yeah.
So we're now in our Q&A kind of section. One question we have is, so let's say we're specifically using the Real Estate IQ data tool, right? How do you most effectively pair that for door knocking? Like, what are some of the information that you actually use for the door knocking?
Sure, we use it kind of to plan our route as well, right? Up front, I tell you, if you're brand new to door knocking, I'm not looking at equity. I'm not looking at any of that quite yet. What I'm looking at is my zip code or the zip code that I want to door knock at. Get, a few houses in that area, plan out my route, and then go execute, right? Go talk to these people.
So that's exactly what we do. We'll go to Real Estate IQ and say, okay, well, this time we want to door knock in Katy, right? We don't want to go too far. So we'll go to Real Estate IQ. We'll do our search with the zip code that we want to hit up, and then it'll give us our list. And then from there, we'll choose, it depends on how many houses are in the area that month. But then we'll say, okay, let's get this information and put it like into our Google Maps and route our plan for the next day. And then we use Real Estate IQ directly to make mailers, to make letters for these people, or
marketing, everything.
Yeah. So,
and then once you get more comfortable and you can start breaking down, you can say, hey, Real Estate IQ, they show the percentage of equity. Maybe I want some that are 20 to 50% equity, right? No less than 10, something like that. You can tailor it.
I appreciate that. That answers kind of the follow-up question, which is what data point you use. I wanted to add, some folks have recommended MapQuest, because you can kind of choose and you can shift around and it can map up to maybe 10 properties. But when I use it, I think there were times where it gets a little buggy. I don't know if you guys encounter that.
Yeah,
and
we
you have
use
to kind of reload the address.
Yeah, we've used Google Maps, Waze. Those are WAZE. Those are, you can put the shortest route and it'll tell you, what you need to do to get. So yeah, there's different apps that you can use, definitely.
Love it. Is there a best time for door knocking?
Yes, yes and no. Yes, because we typically think people work from 9 to 5, right? So start your door knocking at 6 or from 4 to 7, 7:30 or whatnot. Then maybe during the day, some of these people aren't working anymore. Life has happened to them, right? So believe me, you'll see that some people are home during the day. On the weekends, if you're going to do the weekends, I would definitely do it maybe mid-morning, right? Not too early morning, because what happens when we get woken up? We're in a bad mood, right? Who in the heck is at the door now, right? One of those things. So mid-morning, early afternoon on the weekends. During the weekdays, I say early evenings, and don't ever be out there at night. Period. I don't care which neighborhood you're in.
And then even if you get there when they're not there, I mean, just leave something behind. It shows that at least you took the initiative and went to their house.
Yeah.
So what would you recommend to have, like, in terms of material to leave behind? Like, what's the easiest thing to, let's say I'm new, what's the easiest thing for me to kind of do to leave behind something?
So if you want to be very creative and take a little bit of extra time for these people, maybe make a letter for them. I would say make a letter, but if you don't have time, because we're all busy, create door hangers ahead of time. We have our door hangers that we leave behind. It makes it look pretty. In all honesty, they might not be there when they get there because there's other investors. Some other investors might take them.
Yeah. And you can use sticky notes. It's something colorful, something that'll catch the eye. You can use business cards, right? We tend to use something bigger that catches their eye, right? So maybe postcards or something like that. It doesn't need to be anything fancy either. If you want to get them made, perfect. If not, you can just handwrite something on a thicker paper, try to slip it in that door or something like that.
Got it. Ryan's asking, what are your qualifications for door knocking property?
Yeah, that's a good question. It depends on the area and where we're at in that certain time as far as business wise. But qualifications, now that we're a little more experienced, we want to see a little more equity, right? As far as the condition of the home, I don't care. The uglier, the better. And people say, well, why do you want an ugly house? Well, because we can get it cheaper, right? So it's easier that way. But other qualifications are, but there's different strategies, right? If you're going to buy sub 2, owner finance. So the equity really doesn't matter. The main thing here is getting in front of the people, getting that contract, and then figuring out what we're going to do.
I would say, especially right now, if you're new to door knocking, it doesn't even matter. Just get comfortable with doing door knocking. So just pull your list, maybe just something in your area, so you don't waste a lot of gas, things like that. I mean, it depends on you. It's a personal thing. It's a personal, how much do you want to commit to this, and what are your resources? If you have to stay within your area because you really don't have gas to go somewhere far, then stay within your area, and that's your qualifications, because that's your capability at that point in time.
Just remember,
next month it might change.
Yeah, once you get under contract, there's a buyer for different price points, different areas, and everything else. So don't assume you can't sell, right?
So Rachel and Chris, I think this is a very good question. Can you share a deal, like a case study you've done, and what was your return?
So we do buy at different strategies, right? It's not just fix and flips, up twos, owner finance. When we first started real estate, we started with Real Estate IQ, right? Those we were doing bandit signs, postcards, and everything else. One of the first deals we were able to wholesale. So that one, if I'm not mistaken, I think the house was probably worth $200,000. They were in arrears at that time, I think maybe less than 20, so maybe $18,000, $20,000. The house was in fairly good condition, and We saw that there was enough equity, after paying out the seller. I think there's probably 5-7 grand. You remember I think it's almost $8,000 or something for an assignment, something like that. Yeah. So, and these are just things that we're telling you what to do, how we put that into action. And so, yeah, I mean, maybe 5,000 may not be a lot for you guys, but for a lot of people, it's like, what can you imagine one deal a month at $5,000? At the minimum, even if it's 2,000.
Yeah. And how much do you guys kind of invest it in, like your efforts and data, material, and all that?
I say a healthy budget for anyone who's going to do marketing is at least $1,000 a month to $1,500. If you don't have that money, then you're door knocking. You're
using your time.
You're using your time. Yeah.
It's one or the other. You either have money to do a lot of marketing, send out things in the mail, do phone calls, do all that, or you're door knocking, which isn't going to take a lot of money. So that's why we decided to do door knocking today, because we understand a lot of people are just starting and don't have a lot of money to put into this. It does take money. Or
partner with somebody who has a few dollars, right? Say, hey, I don't have a lot of money, but you do. I have time, but you don't have time. Let's partner together.
Right. But door knocking is an excellent way to get started. That's not going to take a lot of money, but it is going to take a lot of time. So even if it's not money that we can say per se, you're going to spend this amount of money, you're going to spend quite a bit of your time. But it's all worth it. 100%. It's all worth it. It's just being consistent and doing it and getting out there and getting used to it and talking to these people and just being comfortable with yourself.
Yeah, I would say, so Real Estate IQ, we will recommend like a quarterly plan, and that's, under $300 to get started. So now you got the list for 3 months and you can start door knocking. I think that's a kind of a pretty affordable way to get started. And I think what we'll learn is, how consistent, how persistent are you in executing and just like showing up and doing it. I was gonna ask you guys, what would be like a good first goal of number of doors to knock to kind of like gain some experience, right? Get your feet wet. We don't necessarily need to get a result yet. And I think, one of the main things we want everyone to really focus on is the process. If you just kind of focus on just doing it and doing it consistently, the outcome is going to come. We got to have faith that the results are going to come. But what's the process and how many do we want to kind of start? What would be like a good initial goal to really like enjoy the door knocking?
Sure. So on that QR code that we had earlier, it's kind of a roadmap to what we have, and I'll just talk about it now. So whenever we start mapping out our weekend for door knocking, we try to get 20, 25 houses in that area, map it out, right? And that could take 8 hours or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Out of those 20, 25 houses, and the reason we do so many is because we understand that not everyone's going to be home. And it doesn't matter to me up front whether they're going to be home or not. What I want to get comfortable with is driving there, looking at the neighborhood, walking up to the property and knocking, right? You can walk up to any property, but once you knock, most people are like, oh, Jesus, please don't let anyone answer, right? Because, but this is why we're here, right? We teach you how to do all this and all the different strategies. And you mentioned something earlier, education. If you have not educated yourself in all the different strategies, you're going to look at things just one way. And that deal that you get under contract, you may be able to make money in different ways, right? It may not make any sense for other ways, but believe me, this is why you guys have to get educated, hence why we're here. But we do that 20, 25 at least, because we understand that maybe half of those will answer. And out of those that answer, we're practicing. And I'm telling you, mess it up. Say, hey, Rachel, I'm here to buy your house. I'm here to save, whatever it is. Then you mess it up, but keep moving, because they're going to, if you don't see them the next month, right? Those guys are going to forget all about you. But the second house, the third house, you're going to be able, hey, Rachel, my name is Chris. Has anyone spoken to you about options, or has anyone tried to help you save your house? Anything like that. You will get better. So it's a lot of repetition up front.
Yeah, I think it takes repetition to get better.
Yeah.
And, you can rehearse it as much as you can beforehand. And I think it'll help a little bit, visualization. But when you mess up is when you really kind of have the material in your head to go, how do I do better next time? And then there's like always like an objection that comes back. And, oh, what am I supposed to do? It's okay. It's just one of the leads. We have plenty of leads to go through.
Right. And that's why we said earlier, we can give you all the scripts you want, but it depends on you, right? The person that shows up and who answers the door.
Yeah, the objections are always going to be different.
Right.
There's always going to be a different reason why they can't talk to you, or a different reason why they don't care, or a different reason or something that they already have resolved. So,
and we're going to go deeper into that tonight at our meetup. So
yeah, so you just have to practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had this conversation earlier that, you know, we can learn a lot before we get started, because we kind of need to feel comfortable enough before we do it. But I think, you know, sometimes we gotta just rush it, because you learn more after you start doing it. So after you start getting it, then when you kind of listen to the same class or same lessons again, now it makes more sense because you have real world experience now. And then you can also ask deeper questions too. And I just really love the in-person meetups that you have at Rudy's, because now you can actually we can actually go and meet with you and ask real questions like,
right.
Oh, I got this case. I got this. The seller said this. Like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, and that's why we do it. That's why we do it, because a lot of people do need help, want help, and that's what we're here to do.
Yeah, because you could get all the books, right? You could have 10, 15 books about real estate investing, and you could read them all. Like if you're really good at reading, you can read them all in one weekend, and then it'll be like, okay, but then what do I do next? Or when somebody says yes to me, okay, how do I fill out my contract? What do I do next? And it's always the details that get us stuck, right? We get stuck, and sometimes we'll lose the deal because we didn't know what to do next.
Or you can be like our student Lester. He graduated from YouTube University, he says, right? He's watched all the videos and still was stuck. And obviously they're with us now. But yeah, it's really true. You can read everything, all the books you want, all the videos you want, but until you do it, you're never gonna know.
Yeah. I remember filling out that first contract. I'm like, what do I do here?
Yes.
What do I do here? What do I do here? And just
Yeah.
good to have somebody who can kind of hold our hands and really get us through it and get that first
do it
deal.
faster.
And do it faster.
Faster so you can get on to the next deal.
Correct. Yeah, it's all about repetition. So okay, so I think we got so many questions, but would you tell us a little bit about the coaching that you're offering?
So we do this, but on a more one-on-one level. So our coaching is one-on-one. We have chosen not to do group coaching because everybody is in a different part of their real estate investing journey. So we tailor it to our students specifically. So we have students that only want to buy rental houses. So we work up a plan to only buy rental houses. And there's people that want to become wholesalers. Okay, so we understand that. So we'll tailor it to exactly what it is that one student needs. The great thing is we can pivot as much as they want to pivot. So sometimes, let's say we started with door knocking and they went out to door knock and they actually got somebody to make an appointment with them. So as opposed to, okay, well, next week we have a regular meetup or meeting through Zoom. If the student chooses, hey, can you guys go with me to my appointment? We will pivot and say, okay, well, we're not going to do this meeting via Zoom. We're going to go with you to the customer's house or the seller's house and help you close that contract. So that's
and that's a good thing is where it's really one-on-one coaching. So it's a 12-week session, and every week we learn something differently. And if a student wants to focus on just one thing or one thing in particular for maybe a couple of weeks, we can do that also. But we go over marketing, we go over filling out contracts, a fix and flip. We'll do sub twos, we'll do everything, right? Owner finance. We take them detail by detail, not just say, hey, this is an owner finance and figure it out. No. And we're on the phone with sellers, with our students as well. And we'll even take them to different construction sites, different houses to show them why it's a good buy and why it isn't, especially in construction, why you should buy this house at this price. And we also have a Facebook also. Hopefully everybody got to scan our information. up front. If not, we can share that here so that way you can reach out to us and we'll give you more information.
Right. So we take people to houses, and then we'll tell them, like, this is what you look for when you see a house, and things that aren't very obvious, right? Because we read all the books, but once you're actually there and you see the house, you're like, oh yeah, I hadn't thought about that. How a door might not close, and that might be another issue. So we get into those details. It's a lot of hand holding, which we find a lot of people do need. A lot of people have gone through different programs, which is great because you've already kind of been filled with some of the knowledge. But if there's gaps or things that you don't truly understand, we fill in those gaps, or we can go from the beginning and fill you with all that knowledge that maybe some other people have that you don't have yet. So it's really tailored for people that have been in this for a long time, new people, really anybody.
And the great thing is we're active investors as well. So this isn't something we did 20, 30 years ago. Now we're just teaching, right? We are out there with you guys. We're learning. We're teaching each other. We're supporting one another. So by the end of our program, you're literally going to be able to do deals by yourself. If you want to do deals with us, partner with us, that's great. But eventually we want you to go out and do it for yourself or your family to build that generational wealth. So you'll be able to be comfortable looking at houses by yourself, filling out contracts, sending it to title, getting your attorney squared away, closing, and then go from there.
Yeah, and I just want to take this opportunity to really stress, it's so important to have someone you trust and who have been through it to be on our side. Because when I'm stuck, I want to know who I can call and that they will pick up the phone and really help me because time is of the essence when it comes to a lot of these deals. And then another piece, maybe just to add on here, is you need to have a educational budget for your business, right? We really see what we're doing here as a business, and it's gonna be a long-term, 5, 10 years, 20 years down the road. You gotta consistently invest in your personal education. I think that's probably the best investment to ever make is in here in our own brain because we can always use it, and I think the return is infinite.
It's miserable,
yeah. Okay, so our time is up. We're actually like 15 minutes over. So for those who are staying behind, really appreciate you. Make sure you get back to and connect with Rachel and Chris. If you're in the Houston area, in the Katy area, make sure you hit up their meetup and reach out to Rachel and Chris if you want to learn more about their 12 weeks program. Rachel and Chris, what's the best way to reach out to you? I think we got a couple of questions here.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So our phone number is 713
635 713
635
835
no 635
635
9706.
Okay, would you please repeat the last 4 digits?
Yes. So all of it's 713 635 9706.
06.
And then our website is Candid, CANDID, REI for realestateinvesting.com.
Awesome.
And then our email is rc@candidrei.com. And then we have Facebook and everything else and all that we can exchange later.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, really glad to have this session. It's recorded as well. So so everybody can refer back to this class. And Rachel and Chris, we should get together and chat a little more.
For sure.
I have a couple of ideas in mind to talk to you guys about.
Sure.
Have a good rest of the weekend, everybody. It's Easter weekend, so have a good weekend, and we'll see each other again next Thursday.
Bye, everyone.
Cheers. Appreciate you.
you.